Hello beautiful people, welcome and welcome to my channel. My name is Oluchi Imo, and on this channel I share business tips. I talk about entrepreneurship, personal development. I do story time, tutorials and vlogs as well, and you're welcome. In today's video I'm going to be sharing some cake hacks with you. Are you interested? I'll be sharing some cake hacks with you in this video, and these hacks will help you with your baking and also with your cake decorating as you go along. I mean, these are things that happen, life happens, and things happen when you're baking. So, but how do you get to improve yourself? How do you get better with your baking and with your cake decorating? And how do you find your way out in times when you are stuck or when you encounter a challenge? Now, if you're interested in knowing what these things are, please stick around because I'll be right back. The first hack I'll be sharing is this for moist cakes. It's either you steam bake, that's how I choose to call it, I don't know what the name is, but it's either you steam bake your cakes. First of all, before I even go into it, let me mention that creaming your sugar and your butter is very, very important. Please, in anything you do, do not miss this step. Someone asked me, how do I get my cake? My cakes are looking so moist and they're not dry. In the video I just posted, my square cake video, how to crumbcoat a square cake with sharp edges. If you've not watched that video, where have you been? Please go and watch that video. Someone asked, your cakes are so moist and not dry, how do you get them to be sold? One of the secrets, so she asked what's your secret. So one of the secrets is creaming your butter and your sugar well. All right, cream your butter and your sugar well. This is the beginning and this is the genesis of having moist cakes. So to the hacks, one of the things you can do is to steam bake. I think I've mentioned this before, I'm not too sure. Yes, I think I have. Put a bowl of water in your oven, at the base of your oven, just below your cakes. What this would do would be it will help give your cakes moisture as it's baking. So the water will be boiling and steaming. It will be steaming. Let me not say boiling. It will be steaming, and the steam would help you get a moist cake as it's baking. The second thing I'll be sharing is that you should seal in. I know I've mentioned this before, but maybe some of you are new, probably haven't seen those videos. But seal in. When we bring our cakes out of the oven, in my bakery, we seal in. What do I mean by sealing in? It means covering your cakes either with a foil, or with a cake board. If you don't have a foil, you can use the cake board. So just close it to trap the heat inside. A question: would this make the cake go bad? No, it would not make the cake go bad. So just cover it, seal in, and allow it cool that way. Okay, first of all, you give it some time to cool right when it comes out of the oven, and then you turn it out of the pan, and then you cover. Either you cover with your cake pan, you cover with a foil, or you cover with a board. Anyhow you can seal in, just seal in the moisture. Okay, it will make your cake come out really moist. The third thing I'll be sharing is freezing your cakes. I know that a lot of people do this or really don't know about this, but freezing your cakes help you have a moist cake. So it's not compulsory that you must freeze it, but if you freeze it, I tell you, will see the difference. Your cake will be moist, but ensure that you cling film the cakes properly, wrap it very well so that nothing happens to it while it's in the freezer, and you are good to go. All right, the second thing I'll be talking about is flat cakes. So for flat cakes, use a good cake pan. I used to use a particular type of cake pan, and then at some point I switched to another. Why I switched to this other pan, I'm going to insert pictures, is because I found out that one bakes well, the sides come out fine, it comes out flat, but over time I realized that it's not just about the pans alone, although they help. It's not just about the pans alone. You also need to bake your cakes right. It just started working out basically. So use a good cake pan. I know that people talk about having strips around their pan or putting a flour nail in the middle. Flour nail, your like this built-in flour nail, put it in the middle before you bake. So there are other different hacks, but the ones I'm sharing here is that you should use a good cake pan. If you use a good cake pan, your cakes will come out well baked, level. These days, trimming the top of my cakes is not something I do all the time because they come out flat. But if peradventure it doesn't come out flat, it doesn't come out level, I make sure I trim it. All right, I take off the top before I go ahead to decorate. Now, another thing you can do for flat cakes is to spread your batter. So spread your batter and allow it, be leveled in your pan, and then tap it before you put it into the oven. Now for square cake, I know I've not mentioned it before, either I put it in my how to trim square cakes video. One tip, one hack for getting flat leveled square cake, especially around the four corners, is to move your batter towards the edge. So once you put your batter in the pan, it's a square pan, so it's just going to stay in the middle, and if you look at it, you find that towards the edge it's slightly bent. What you need to do is to fill it up. You fill it up by tilting your pan. Just move your pan so that the batter can flow, or use your palette knife to do that, and you will get a flat square cake. I believe you must have seen my square cakes. Flat, they're flat. Okay, so that is one thing you can do to get flat cakes. The third thing I'll be talking about is hiding your mistakes. Yes, we make mistakes with our cakes, and our cakes, okay, sometimes just won't cooperate. There are some days when it just feel I have a mind of my own. This is how I want to be, and no matter how you try to fix that particular spot on your cake, it would refuse to get fixed. I don't know if you can relate. If you can relate, let me know in the comments. So some days you're just trying to fix a particular spot. You see that you filled it with buttercream. You're trying to scrape, but it's just not working. It's not cooperating. What you can do is to cover those spots. Now, what are the things you can use to cover those spots? You can use your gold leaf. You can put a butterfly there. You can put a sticker there. You can put sprinkles there. You can also, what else can you put? Anything that, yeah, you can put flowers as well. So if you have a flower, you can just nicely put it in that spot, arrange your decorations, put it well, put it nicely in that spot, and nobody will know. How would they know? Except you tell them, nobody will know. Nobody will know. So this is one way to hide your mistakes. And for hiding mistakes, if you find out that probably you've worked, I'm not promoting, you to go ahead and be doing cakes that they're not good, okay? That is not what I'm promoting. That is not what I'm talking about. But if you happen to find yourself in a situation where you have tried to fix a particular cake, you're trying to fix this cake, your buttercream, your fondant, and it's not working, this is something you can do to cover your mistake. Another thing you can do is to texture, okay? I know that textured cakes are a trend. Textured cakes are a thing now. It's a trend, and not everybody that is doing textured cake is trying to hide their mistakes. Yeah, you need to get that right. But if you know that probably you've done your buttercream, it's not working right, it's not looking smooth and all of that, probably it's time for you to deliver. You're going to deliver in the next 30 minutes, and this cake is just not this thing. You've been on it trying to fix it, trying to scrape, smoothing, comb, and it's not just working. Dear baker, you need to texture. Go ahead, get a palette knife, get a spoon, get a kitchen utensil, get a skewer, get a palette knife, whatever you can use to create textures in your cake. Go ahead and texture your cake, and it will be looking beautiful, especially if you know how to do this well. If you can texture your cakes right, it will come out looking beautiful. So texture your cakes to hide your mistakes. To bake faster, preheat your oven. Don't forget, preheat your oven. It helps you bake faster, and it helps you bake well, and also your temperature is very important. So you just need to get an oven thermometer. If you know that your oven is giving you issues with the temperature of your baking, you need to get an oven thermometer. Preheat your oven to the certain degree or required temperature that a cake calls for. By now, I believe that most cakes work with a certain temperature, which is around 300 to 250, 300, 350 degrees Fahrenheit. So know how to get your cake to this, preheat to this temperature before putting your cakes into the oven. Another hack is to split your batter. There's no use loading your pans with batter. They're going to come out, they're going to take time to get done. First of all, they're going to take time to get done, and sometimes they don't even get properly done in the middle. So split your cake pans, split your batter into, not your cake pans, split your batter into different cake pans, put them into the oven, and in no time they're done, nice, flat, looking good, no issues at all. Okay, I know that you might like those big tall layers, but they're not the best when it comes to baking. So try and have a minimal height, say like 2 inches, 2.5 inches tall, max maybe like 3 inches. I know that this is a personal opinion and I respect yours, but I'm just giving you advice, and if you know that it will work for you, you've been having issues with what you're doing, then you can try this one to see what results you will get. All right, now for dark colored cakes, this is what you want to do. If it's for buttercream, tint your buttercream and leave overnight, or tint your buttercream and leave for some hours before use. Oxidation will take place and your colors would get deeper. If you allow it to sit, your colors will get deeper over time. Some other people say they start with a dark shade. For example, they want to do a black buttercream, they start with brown base, and then add their black color so they don't use too much of black color. There's another one I learned recently, although I didn't really understand the science behind this, so I'm not really going to talk about it because I don't even know I don't know how it works. Okay, they say you should cover your cake in cream. So for example, you want to do black buttercream, cover in cream and then put it in the fridge and then bring it out and apply a bit of buttercream and then put it back in the fridge and the color will spread. I hope I'm not mistaking this theory or this hack, but please, if you know better about this, share with us in the comments. I'd love to learn as well. Okay, but that is not something that I'm sharing with you because I really don't know how it works. Okay, so make your buttercream ahead and allow it sit. The more it sits, the deeper it gets. For fondant, you know that if you add color, the more color you add to your fondant, the softer it gets, especially for red, colors like red, colors like blue, black. The more you add, because they require a good amount of food coloring, all right? So the more you add, the softer it gets, and sometimes you might not be able to manage this. So one thing you can do, or one thing I know that people do nowadays, is to cover in white. So for example, you want to do a black cake, cover in white fondant and paint it. So people even do this with buttercream. You just tint your cake in cream buttercream, put it in the fridge. I'm talking about SMBC, please. Put it in the fridge to chill and then bring it out and then paint. So that saves you the stress of having to add color, add food color, and add, you know, too much of food color. All right, so this is what you can do for dark colored cakes. If you watched the video up to this point and you enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up, like this video, and then drop me a kind comment. And if you're yet to subscribe to my channel, please subscribe to my channel as well, okay? And share with those in your caking communities, all right? Until I see you in the next video, stay happy, stay safe, and stay blessed.